Hey guys, it's me, again here with a new video starting a brand new series being about every single month in the Roblox game Pressure. Pressure is a game that you will be knowing if you've played Roblox for the last couple of months or even followed Roblox Summer Gaming for the last bit. Now, for this video I will be covering the Angler, its variants and Pandemonium, as this group of monsters is known as the Node Monsters. I will be covering the designs of every version of the Angler and Pandemonium, the way to counter them, so the gameplay and general lore about them inside of the documents. Now let's start with the appearance of the Angler. The Angler is a heavily deformed anglerfish with having 3 eyes inside of its eye socket. Now on the right eye socket you will have 2 eyes, on the left only 1. These eyes are purely black with having white pupils that have somewhat of a shiny inside of the black eyeball. The ridge variant of the Angler is the normal Angler PNG without having its eyes, which are replaced by pitch black emptiness. Now let's get on to the mechanics of the Angler, the actual gameplay. When you enter a new room, you might see the lights flicker or even hear them flicker. That means an Angler variant is spawning, which can be either an Angler, each of its variants, or Pandemonium. The Angler itself will spawn a few seconds after the flickering and make its way through the past few previous rooms and will despawn while hitting the next closed door that is going and the entrance to the next room. Now, the Angler can be avoided by hiding inside of a side room like a laboratory or office. Note, while hiding inside of an office, it's better to hide inside at the wall where there's no known hallway to you, because the Angler has a chance of killing you while because the player character of yourself is clipping throughout the wall, and if even just a bit of the player is inside of the death zone, the pathway of the Angler, the player will die. Also note, the Angler is not able to spawn within dark rooms, so if you enter the next room and the room is dark, so having no lights from the start, that means an Angler won't be able to spawn due to the lights not being able to flicker. This is the only exception to that is either having the timer of the Angler spawn run out, or being inside of the ridge itself. Now I read the actual document we found within Pressure itself, all after dying to the Angler. Z283, codename The Angler, was originally found at the bottom of the Lead Van Zone during the initial expedition and excavation for the Hatal Black site. The creature is comprised of a cloud of black and dark blue smoke. Within the smoke, you can see a face resembling a stereotypical deep sea anglerfish, and no matter from which angle you view the Angler itself, it will always look at you with its face. This also happens with any kind of camera equipment. It is yet unknown why this is happening. The Angler is incredibly fast, but it's also partially blind. Because of this, the Angler is constantly emitting an incredibly loud scream that it uses to echolocate through its surroundings. During the initial capture, operatives discovered that even if in-tail eye contact is made from afar, getting out of its sight before it reaches your location, it will simply pass by you. The same thing can't be said if its line of sight isn't broken before it reaches you. In this case, its echo will bounce off you and it will move in for the kill. It is currently unknown how exactly the Angler kills its victims. All that it has to do is simply move through the living being, and the living being will instantly drop dead. Post-death autonomy of the victim shows that the cause of death is neurotrauma upon contact. It is currently theorized that when the angler kills something, it absorbs all the neuron signals from the body, leaving nothing but a corpse with no bodily harm behind. For some reason that can't be fully explained yet, the angler sends out a weak disruptive electrical signal like an EMP pulse of sorts. The range of the pulse doesn't have an exact measure yet, but the radius is rather wide. Said pulse disrupts all unsecured electronic devices connected to the black site power grid, causing them to shortcut or malfunction. The angler also has a shorter, more powerful disruptive signal that is strong enough to outright break or destroy any unsecured electronics. The range of this pulse is much shorter, measuring about redacted by redacted studs. In the event that the angler breaches containment, personnel should note that the pulse it emits disrupts the black site's lights, causing them to flicker if near. You can also tell it that it's on its way by its loud scream. If this happens, the personnel should look for a place to hide before its arrival. Once the angler passes through the area, it should be noted that it'll leave the room shuttered in darkness. It's likely to take a while for the emergency light system to kick back in. So personnel should look for light sources such as flashlights and or lanterns to help them through the dark room that the angler leaves behind in its way of wrath. After the recent black site lockdown, four of what can only be described as the angler's variants are spotted roaming the black site on CCTV. There's a grey, pink, brown, and green variant, referenced to as Blitz, Pinkie, Frogger, and Chainsmoker. The origins of these so-called variants are currently unknown. Further study is needed once the black site lockdown has been dealt with. For now, operatives are advised to deal with them as they would with the original angler. Now, Blitz is basically just a reskin of the angler, except for it being way faster. So instead of having a couple of seconds or even more before the angler passes, you will only have a couple of 10 seconds or less to react to the Blitz to hide inside of a side room or locker. Now, instead of just one flicker, the lights will flicker much more frequently, meaning that instead of one flicker, it are two flickers back to back. Blitz is the fastest node monster inside of the game. Now, for the second angler variant, I will be covering Pinkie. Pinkie is a pink anglerfish with 4 eyes, having 2 eyes in each eye socket. It is just normal angler again that will just not flicker the lights as it does not have the EMP. Now, Pinkie can be heard from a much more further distance than the normal angler. Before it's spotting, it will wait a much longer time before actually starting to go through the next couple of rooms until reaching your room. This means that Pinkie spawns, you'll hear a scream for about 5 seconds. In that time, you'll be able to get to a hiding spot. Then Pinkie will start going through the previous rooms before reaching your room and despawning when reaching the end. Now, let's continue with Frogger. Frogger resembles a heavily malformed frog. It has numerous sharp and thin teeth. Between its eyes, it has a normal light bulb like the normal angler has, and each and every variant does as well, except for Blitz and Chainsmoker. Now, Frogger will spawn just like the normal angler, and instead of just going throughout the room once, it will rebound, meaning that instead of going through the room, it will immediately turn back throughout the room, meaning that you will have to hide longer inside of the locker. It will despawn for a few seconds after rebounding twice, and then come back eventually with having up to 30 seconds between each rebound. Further's design also resembles the monster that kills you at the end of Iron Lung, which is something you will be easily see if you've actually seen the ending of Iron Lung. Now let's end our adventure throughout the Hall of Angler variants with Chainsmoker. Chainsmoker resembles a large deformed blobfish without any eyes inside of its socket. Chainsmoker is constantly engulfed in a green-like smoke that induces fear inside of the player. When the lights flicker and it starts to approach, you will hear chain-like shadowing as the chains surrounding its bodies hit the ground while it travels at an extremely slow rate throughout the room. Chainsmoker is also the slowest node monster inside of the game. Now, throughout Chainsmoker's path spawning, you will not be able to hide inside of the lockers too long, meaning that you will have to time it right to hide inside of the locker, needing to wait a long time before you can actually hide and survive the encounter with it. Now, within the heavy containment area of the rooms that we will be able to spawn within the Hail Black side, you might come across something called Pandora's Box, being obviously hinted at the Greek mythology's Pandora's Box. Pandora's Box emits a very green smoke that is the same fear-inducing smoke the Chainsmoker has. While being jump-scared from Chainsmoker, you will be teleported inside of a weird swampy-like area with chains running throughout the water sides of an island, and while reaching the end of the island, you will see Pandora's box opening, and after it opens, you die. Now, let's finish off the very first video with the last monster not being an Angler variant, but instead a whole new monster that is also a Node monster, being the famous Z367 Pandemonium. Pandemonium takes the appearance of a melting, heavily distorted face made out of flesh, with its two glowing sunken eyes and its sealed smaller eyes inside its mouth, which will remain darkened until it spots a player. Pandemonium's jaws is wrapped into a curved shape with numerous disfigured loose teeth similar to the Angler. Pandemonium's face will always be facing the player, regardless of which way they view it. Now, Pandemonium is also very similar to the Angler. When the lights flicker, Pandemonium will be able to spawn, and this time, though, it's different. The Pandemonium is the exact same as the Angler, but as soon as it reaches your room and you are not fully covered by anything, Pandemonium will see you, open its eyes, and make its way to you without being stopped by anything. And yes, it even goes through walls. Now, you can only avoid it without hiding inside of a locker, while being inside of side rooms or PSS, so-called Pandemonium safe spots. This is a fan-made term for lockerless ones that is used for spots Pandemonium can't see the player inside of. Now, the intended way of surviving Pandemonium is by hiding inside of the locker. Doing so will trigger Pandemonium to open its eyes, make its way to the locker the player's in, and start a minigame, where you will see a hexagon-like shape with a circle inside of it, and the text above saying, "Keep the circle inside of the box." Now, with a very, very banger soundtrack of 3 different themes being able to play while this, Pandemonium will hit onto the locker you're hiding inside in, and the circle inside of the box will move accordingly. Now, you have to use your mouse a touchscreen or controller sticks to move the circle back into the box. This goes on for 10 to 20 seconds before ultimately ending and you being able to step out the locker without being killed. Now, Pandemonium has a very, very bad habit of having anglers spawn directly after its encounter, as Pandemonium does not count as an angler variant. The angler counter still is there. So, you might be able to survive do the Pandemonium minigame, survive him, but then you might accidentally die on an angler because the lights flickered while inside the minigame, which you obviously don't hear because of the banger soundtrack. Notes: Pandemonium will only be able to spawn after room 19. It is the second slowest enemy besides before Chainsmoker. And while being spotted by Pandemonium, it is significantly making its way faster to you than the angler, but is still slower than Blitz. Now, Pandemonium also has the chance of spawning like the angler do. After a set amount of time spent in the room, Pandemonium or any angler will be able to spawn. Now, as the minigame progresses, Pandemonium will attack the locker inside very, very much more frequently. And just like Pinkie, Pandemonium won't break the lights inside the room you're in after passing. Now, the approaching sounds of Pandemonium sound a lot like flesh and metal clashing together and scraping onto the ground, while making its way to the room you're inside in. Before its eyes open and it spotted you. It is very slow, almost as slow as Chainsmoker, being only a bit faster. Now to the document of Pandemonium. Pandemonium was originally discovered submerged near a thermal vent within the lead van zone during an initial excavation for the Hadal backside. According to data received from analysis, Pandemonium's body is structurally similar to decomposing organic tissue and synthetic polymer, chemically alike to plastic with traces of various man-made metals. It possesses an indeterminate number of interactional eyes which appear to be alive, though the explanation behind these organs remains unknown, as the Hazards and Ethics Division has deemed further study too dangerous at this time. Pandemonium is capable of rudimentary movement by unknown means, observed to float midair at a maximum of 1 meter above solid surfaces. Top speeds is somewhat consistent of that of a mid-sized marine predator. Its eternal eyes are very powerful, able to spot targets and subtle shifts in lights up to a very long distances. If spotted subjects manage to evade Pandemonium, it will immediately begin hunting the surrounding area for potential hiding spots for said target. If subjects place a barrier between themselves and Pandemonium, the creature will begin to ram its full body into the barrier between them. Its estimated weight and velocity is capable of destroying most unsecured structures. This only subsides after an indefinite amount of times and attempts failed. Through research finds no relation between the two anomalies, Z376, the angler, shares a similar EMP field generated by Z283, Pandemonium. However, the former electric charges is recorded as being significantly less powerful, causing devices like linked to internal power grids only to temporarily malfunction when Pandemonium is near. Though permanent electrical damages are suffered through the angler, Pandemonium does not so damage said lights. Theories regarding the origins of this function are scant, as no other biological process indicate that the angler should be capable of producing such electrical fields. Same for the 367 Pandemonium. The relationship between these two subjects is largely between them and very much undetermined. However, great redacted biological researcher Dr. Blank and his juniors continued to lobby for further research to be conducted. The Hazards and Ethics Division continues to deny all appeals for continued study. And there you go. This is every single variant of the Angler and Pandemonium. Now, if you enjoyed this video, I really would appreciate a like and even a subscribe if you're interested in the following videos. The second part will be filming of that will begin shortly after the video comes up, around a day or two away from that. Now is next video about the Pandemonium, about the pressure monsters, will be about the void masses hiding inside of the lockers, which will be a much shorter video as the note monsters are a majority of the monsters you will find. Now the void lockers will also be paired with the squiggles and nothing else, only the squiggles, and the void locker masses will be covered inside of the next video. So have fun waiting, and I wish you guys a very good day, a very good time waiting for the next video. Hop into the next video if it's out already, like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.